Hey everybody, it's Andy, and welcome again to my office in Modesto, California. I'm an attorney licensed to practice law in California as well as New York, and in this video I'm going to go over something called a Watson Advisement. Now hopefully a Watson Advisement is not something that a lot of people are searching for, on a daily basis, but if you are involved in a California DUI case, a Watson Advisement probably is going to be something that you're going to be very interested in. So Watson, like most things in the law, there actually is a case in California called People versus Watson. That's where the name derives from. I'm going to go ahead and link it down below for you just in case you want to read the case. Hopefully I can find a Google Scholar link or something that I can just go ahead and plop down there. But Watson, W-A-T-S-O-N, is the name of the case. Watson Advisement is where, that's where the name comes from. If you are interested in the actual statute section in California, that's California Vehicle Code section 23593. 23593 is the code section. I'll link that down below also. So if you are involved in a DUI case, driving under the influence, drunk driving, driving while intoxicated, whatever, the Watson Advisement basically is part of the standard plea speech that a judge basically has to give you. A judge in California basically has to give you. So you can read the actual language of the advisement yourself in that code section that I just described, but I'm going to go ahead and read it to you guys now. Quote, "You are hereby advised that being under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or both impairs your ability to safely operate a motor vehicle. Therefore, it is extremely dangerous to human life to drive while under the influence of alcohol or drugs or both. If you continue to drive while under the influence of alcohol or drugs or both, and as a result of that driving, someone is killed, you can be charged with murder." End quote. So, that's literally read from 23593, the Vehicle Code section. And basically, the Watson Advisement is one of two, required, advisements that the judge in a California DUI case has to give you. So the Watson Advisement I just read is one of them. There's an immigration speech from California Penal Code section 1016.5a. That the judge will have to give you also. If you're interested in that speech, the immigration speech, I actually have another video, which I literally just recorded like a minute or two ago, that I'm gonna go ahead and link up above over here. So go ahead and take a look at that video if you want to find out what that speech involves. But basically, in a California DUI case, there's going to be two required things that the judge has to tell you during a plea speech. And number one is the Watson Advisement, number two is the immigration consequences speech. So those two things, this video goes over the Watson Advisement, the immigration speech is going to be in that other video I described. So the Watson Advisement is fairly simple. It basically says that, you have been warned that driving under the influence of, alcohol or drugs or both is dangerous. You do it again, you kill somebody, it could be murder. Obviously, there's a lot of other stuff that has to happen in order for it to be murder. It is not always murder, but a lot of times it actually is. To sort of drive home that point, I'm also going to link two stories down below that are fairly recent. So I am recording this in, it's June 2019, and these two news stories that I'm going to link down below are from April 2019. So one of the stories involves a crash that occurred in 2017, killed two little children under age 10, I think. One was 10, one was 5, 6-ish. But the defendant in that case had 3 prior DUI convictions. And at each of the convictions, he was given the Watson Advisement that I just read to you. Nevertheless, he decided to drive drunk, and in the process of doing that, killed the 2 children. So he was convicted in April of 2019, so 2 months ago or so, and he was sentenced to 24 years. So this is not a joke. To anybody who's watching this that thinks that I'm overreacting or something, you can get serious time when you violate the Watson Advisement, you drive drunk, you kill somebody. So that particular defendant got 24 years, and there's another story that I'm going to link down below where this guy, he basically had, I think, 5 DUI convictions from before, and he was given the Watson Advisement, I'm assuming, at each conviction, and he, for whatever reason, ignored the advisement, drove drunk a 6th time, and in doing so caused an accident, killed 4 people from the same family, just kind of wiped their car completely out. And he killed the 4 of them, and he was also convicted in April 2019. He got sentenced to 135 years, basically life in prison. So, I mean, this is not something where it's a joke. Like, prosecutors do actually treat the Watson Advisement very seriously. So if this is something where you are in a position where you are being given the Watson Advisement for whatever reason, hopefully it is just a one-time thing. Like, you drove drunk once, you got caught, boom, done. You complete your sentence, and you never do it again, everything's fine. But just kind of know that if you do decide to do it again and you do kill somebody, the Watson Advisement, if you have been given it before, the Watson Advisement means that murder definitely is on the table. And if it is on the table and you get convicted, you are looking possibly at serious time. 25 years, 135 years, and so on. Yeah, so bit of a downer, I guess, to kind of end on a downer. But the Watson Advisement is something that, if you are in a DUI case, you take a plea, you definitely will encounter it. Hopefully this video makes that, encounter a little less intimidating. But it is, you should know that the Watson Advisement is definitely there. So again, hopefully all that helped. Again, don't mean to make this a downer, intimidating, don't mean to kind of preach or anything. You should just know the Watson Advisement is something that you will have to contend with if you have DUI cases of any kind. Yeah, so anyway, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks.